Class. So today we will continue our lesson number 11, that is air and water. In our previous class we have finished discussing uses of air pressure. Today we will start with water. Water is as important as air for our survival. Water covers about 70% of the surface of our planet. 98% of this water is contained in oceans. Ocean water is salty and cannot be used for drinking. Fresh water, which constitute only a small percentage of the total water content, is confined to the rivers, lakes, streams, rain, and glaciers. Besides these natural resources, man-made resources of water, such as tanks, wells, tube wells, and reservoirs are also created to meet the water requirement of an area. The purest form of natural water is rainwater. Underline that. The purest form of natural water is rainwater. Water contains mainly dissolved and undissolved impurities. The dissolved impurities are called soluble impurities. Underline that. Soluble impurities are water that dissolve impurities. Okay? Salts and minerals are examples of soluble impurities. The undissolved impurities are called insoluble impurities. Mud, stone, and bits of animals and plants matter are examples of insoluble impurities. So underline this both these two. Soluble and insoluble impurities. Okay, so here it says that water is one of the most important sources for each and every one of us, like all the survival, like living beings. And water here, it says it covers about 70% of surface of the planet, and 98% of water is contained in oceans. And ocean water is salty, and which is so it cannot be used for drinking. There is only very less fresh water, okay, and it consists of small percentage of total water, and those fresh water we get under river, lakes, streams, rain, and in glaciers. Okay, and beside this natural resources, man-made resources are also called as the water that we collect and put in a tank, well, or from tube well. All these are also a man-made resources. Okay, and the purest form of natural water is rainwater. And also water, they contain in so many in two types, that is purities and impurities. Okay, so go through the soluble and insoluble impurities. Now separating impurities from water. So how to separate the pure and impure water? Okay, different methods are used to separate soluble and insoluble impurity from water. Number one, separating insoluble impurities. So you all know insoluble impurities are like more dirty one. Okay, we can remove insoluble impurity by the following method. So how to remove impurities water? We sedimentation and decantation by these two methods. Okay, by this sedimentation and decantation method we can remove the insoluble water. The process by which insoluble impurities which are heavier than water are separated is called sedimentation and decantation. Underline this. What do you mean by sedimentation and decantation? From here till here. Take a mixture. Example, okay? Take a mixture of soil and water in a jar. Stir the content of the jar. Allow the mixture to stand for some time. So you will find particles of mud settling down at the bottom of the jar. This is called sedimentation. After all the heavy particles have settled down at the bottom, carefully drain the clear water into another vessel. This process is called decantation. Okay, so sedimentation and decantation, here you will get the differences. Okay, they have already shown the examples over here. Filtration. Insoluble impurity can also be removed by passing the impure water through a filter paper. A circular piece of filter paper is taken and folded twice to make a cone This paper cone is placed inside a funnel. A breaker is kept below the funnel and the mixture is poured through the funnel into the beaker. Sand is retained on the filter paper and clean water is collected in the beaker. So here even filtration, it says that here it's give an example on a paper. But let me give you another paper. How to filter the water? Some people, they filter water through a small hole of a net or through a piece of cloth. Also we can filter the water, so that once you filter the water, the pure water comes down and the sand, the dust, the left particle, it remain, it's stuck in the clothes. That is also a kind of example of filtration of water. And in sedimentation, here it says that to remove a water from a mud. Okay, mud. So when you remove those kind of mud water, stir it down on a cup. Then once the pure water comes up, the sand will goes down. That is also an example of sedimentation, example of like separating the soluble, insoluble impurities. Okay. Now next page. That is separating soluble impurities. It is more difficult to separate soluble impurities than insoluble ones. Soluble impurity can be separated by using the process of evaporation or distillation. So, soluble impurities is more difficult than separating the impurities water. Okay. The first is evaporation. We can separate impurity from water by heating the water. This is called evaporation. So what do you mean by evaporation? Means heating the water, okay? And once the vapors goes up, that is evaporation. On heating water evaporates, leaving behind the impurity. The evaporated water can be collected by placing a tight lid over the beaker that is being heated. Water that condenses on the surface of the lid is collected in another beaker placed beneath the edge of the lid. So here this is an example of water evaporated. Okay, you just go through, you will get some ideas. Now distillation, the second method of separating soluble impurity water. It is a method through which both the solute impurities and solvent water can be obtained separately. On heating the solution, water evaporates and enters the condenser, which is kept cool by cold water circulating around it. On entering the cool condenser, hot steam changes into water again and collects in the flask below. This water is free from all impurity and is called distilled water or distillate. Distilled water is the purest form of water. The most purest form of water is also distilled. It does not contain any impurity. It is used in car, batteries, in science experiment and in medicine. So this distilled water, it is very pure. So people use this water even in batteries, in vehicle batteries, and also in experiment. Okay, in science experiment as well as in medicines. Okay, you can see the example here. Now purification of drinking water. What are the pure water? How do we get pure water? Okay, a supply of clean water for drinking and cooking is essential for healthy living. So clean water for drinking and cooking is very essential, very important for our healthy living. Impure water carry disease causing germs like those of cholera, jaundice and dysentery. So when you drink an impure water, it will cause a disease like cholera, jaundice and dysentery. Okay, public drinking. Water supply is purified and filtered before being piped for domestic use. Underground water from deep springs and wells is usually free of insoluble impurities and is safe for drinking. Treatment of water involves 3 steps. So here it says that public drinking water supply is purified and filtered before being piped, before being directly piped the water from underground. Okay, so public drinking are also clean. And underground water, it comes from a deep spring and wells. Okay, and it is usually free of insoluble impurities, free from dirt water. Okay, and is safe for drinking. Now treatment of water involves 3 steps. Number 1 is sedimentation. Water collected in large open tank is left undisturbed for a few days. This allow heavier suspended impurities to sink to the bottom. Sink means goes down to the bottom. Air and sunlight also help to kill harmful bacteria. Chemical like alum are added to the sedimentation tanks to purify the water. So this is the method of sedimentation. Okay. Now number 2, filtration. We will just go through this. After the process of sedimentation, water is filtered through a clean sand bed to remove fine impurities. So waters on the sand also it filters the pure water. Okay. Chlorination. Water is finally disinfected by adding a very small quantity of chlorine gas that kills germs. This water is now safe for drinking. So chlorination method means people put a small quantity of chlorine gas. Okay. Why they put this? So that this kill the germs. At home, we can employ the following method to make water fit for drinking. Use a water filter to store drinking water. Clean the filter regularly, as a dirty filter is a breeding ground for disease-causing germs. 2. Add potassium permanganate crystals to wells for killing germs. 3. The easiest and best way to make water safe for drinking is to boil it for at least 20 minutes. Boiled water should be strained through a clean piece of cloth and stored in a clean container. So these are the 3 types of method which we can do at home also. Okay. Now that's the end of the discussion. In our previous class, I have already given question answer. That is, answer the following question from number 1 to 4. Today we will do with number 5. That is, how is carbon dioxide useful to plants? The answer: carbon dioxide is important for green plants, it helps the plants to carry out photosynthesis. photosynthesis, photosynthesis, full stop. Next line. Plants also use carbon dioxide, water and sunlight to manufacture their food. Okay. Now question number 6. Why should drinking water be purified? The answer: drinking water should be purified as it is very necessary and essential for our healthy living. Full stop. Next line. Purified water saves us from disease that cause germs like cholera, jaundice and dysentery. Okay. Now come to question number 7. How can we purify drinking water? This one I want to give you homework. Okay. Everything is in the textbook. Water can be purified in so many ways, like evaporation, by filtering and all. You just go through. Okay. Just write a small point. Now fill in the blank. A blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called, as I've told you, it is atmosphere. atmosphere, atmosphere. Number 2, the dash layer protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. So there are different layers, okay, different type of layers, and the layer that protects us from harmful ultraviolet, that is sun heat, is the ozone layer. OZONE, ozone. Okay. Number 3, dash is needed for burning. I want you to do this. Okay. The lowest layer of the atmosphere is called troposphere. Number 5, dash pressure is used to fill syringe. That is air exert. AIR, air, EXERTS, exerts. Okay. Number 6, soluble impurities can be separated by the process of dash or dash. That is evaporation or distillation. Okay. So that's the end of our lesson. Here this exercise number 3. Short notes on each of the following I will give you in our next class. Okay.